Data sources can contain repeating columns or groups of columns. You can use the pivot option to transform these columns or groups of columns into rows. From the home page, click the data category in the action bar and then click the Upload Data button. From the Legacy home page, in the Resources tree, right-click a domain or folder, point to Upload, and then click Data. Let's upload a file from the home page. Click the Upload Data button. The Upload page opens. Let's click the Excel file type option and upload a multi-worksheet Excel file. Select your file and click Open. The uploaded spreadsheet contains 3 worksheets: years, months, and groups. They are displayed as synonyms in the Data panel. You can drag and drop synonyms onto the Join Editor canvas to display default data preparation in the other panels. There are 2 options for pivot: repeating columns and repeating groups of columns. We will first look at the repeating columns option using the years synonym. Drag the years synonym onto the Join Editor canvas. Your data displays in a Business View panel and an Output panel. In the Business View panel, your data is interpreted and categorized as measures or dimensions. Measures are based on numeric data types. Dimensions are based on all other non-numeric data types, such as character, geography, or date. In the Output panel, we can see sequential numeric columns starting from the column titled 1960 through to column 2012. These are the columns that we will pivot. Let's select our pivot options. Right-click a specific field in the Business View panel. This field will become a starting point when selecting the pivoted range. Point to Pivot, and then click Multiple Columns to Rows. The Pivot Columns to Rows dialog box opens. Select the Repeating Column option from the Pivot Type drop-down list. This is the default setting. The first column is set to 1960, our field starting point. Select 2012 in the last column. In the column title for Pivoted Value field, type the new column title that reflects the numeric cell you are describing. In this example, let's use Amount. In the title for Pivoted Key field, type the new column title that represents the repeating columns we are pivoting into rows. In this example, we will use Year. The formula for Pivoted Key field is automatically generated. It should not be changed. Click OK. You can see how your data is interpreted within the Business View panel. Amount is now a measure, and year is a dimension. If you need to revert the columns to their initial state, right-click the years synonym in the Join Editor and click Remove Pivot. Now we will look at the second pivot option, repeating groups of columns. We can upload our file again from the homepage Upload button, or click the Start Over icon on the ribbon. Let's click Start Over. Choose the Excel file option. Select your multi-worksheet file for upload and click Open. From the Data panel, drag the group synonym onto the Join Editor canvas. In the Business View panel, notice that the Groups worksheet is similar to the Years worksheet with one difference. It has sequences of plan and actual columns, such as 1960 plan and 1960 actual, 1961 plan and 1961 actual, etc. These are the repeating groups of columns. In this worksheet, we have 6 groups. Let's select our pivot options. Right-click a specific field in the Business View panel. This field will become a starting point when selecting the pivoted range. Point to Pivot, and then click Multiple Columns to Rows. The Pivot Columns to Rows dialog box opens. Select the Repeating Group of Columns option from the Pivot Type drop-down list. Type 6 in the Number of Groups field. The first column in group is set to 1960_plan, our field starting point. Set last column and group to 1960_actual. Notice that we are selecting the first last column in the group, not the first last column in the repeating groups. In the column titles for pivoted value field, type planned/actual. These new column titles will be used for all the columns across the repeating groups, so we have to remove the year number reference in our example. The column title for pivoted key should be year. To make sure that the year field value is correctly shown, you need to edit the formula. Click the ellipses button and edit pivoted column values to only show year by deleting _plan. Click Apply. Click OK. You can see how your data is interpreted within the Business View panel. Notice the groups _occurs measure group with two columns, planned and actual, and the year column has correct values of 1960 and 1961. If you need to revert the groups of columns to their initial state, right-click the group synonym in the Join editor and click Remove Pivot. You can also access the pivot feature from the Output panel by clicking a field header and clicking Pivot from the menu. Thank you for watching this video. Now you can use the Pivot option to reorganize your data as needed. To learn more, visit the WebFOCUS 8205 knowledge base, where you can search all technical topics and videos.